Hello, everyone. Welcome to the first edition of 5-Round MMA in the year 2021. My name is Alex Ramirez, alongside my co-host Albert Cita. This week's episode is specially titled "Insurrection." Albert, how you doing, man?
I'm doing good. I love the intro.
Yeah, exactly. You know what's funny with all the kind of craziness going on in Washington and the country right now? When CNN and other news outlets were throwing the word "insurrection" around, I knew exactly what they meant. Not because of my history classes in college, but because of WWE. They actually had an event called Insurrection back in the Attitude Era. You remember that?
Yeah, no, I clearly remember that one.
So I know what's going on here. There's going to be a cage match pretty soon and a no-holds-barred match going on and a lot of tables and chairs flying around. But in all seriousness, Albert, 2021 does not start off well.
I'm not going to get political at all,
Yeah.
but can I just say my favorite meme?
What's what?
And it was aliens tuning into like the Earth Network.
Yeah.
And it just pretty much says like, man, what a season opener. Yeah.
for real. Then also that too, we are in California. We're based in the greater LA area. The legend, the GOAT before there were goats, Tommy Lasorda did pass away.
Yeah.
Of a heart attack. You had a good run.
What a
pretty good run.
That's what I was gonna say. What a wonderful run.
Yeah.
I actually got to meet Tommy twice.
Yeah.
Which is like meeting the Pope here. At Quake Stadium. If people aren't familiar with Quake Stadium, that's the Rancho Cucamonga.
It's a minor league affiliate
to the Dodgers team, single A. Yeah, I mean the guy was funny. He was a funny dude.
Yeah, when you talk about like people who bleed Dodger blue, that's like the top right there, right? Probably the equivalent of what Magic Johnson. It used to be maybe Jerry West used to be, but not anymore.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
For the Lakers,
but I guess Magic Johnson's the closest you can probably get to a Tommy Lasorda.
Yeah, for the basketball world. But yeah, 2021, man. Woo, hopefully,
and he was still attending games. That's the crazy part.
Well, he was there when they won in Texas, the World Series. So,
real quick, I will never forget when I was there. He had a personal like hot dog guy, like
just bring him hot dogs.
Yeah, like he literally like hey. And then the guy will go and get him a hot dog.
Hey, wait, when you're Tommy Lasorda, I'm pretty sure at any ballpark you could get limited hot dogs. So kind of switching gears now. Albert, 2021, you have any New Year's resolutions at all? Or are you just kind of going week by week, day by day? Only way to go,
dude.
Right?
At this point in my life, I have life resolutions.
Life resolutions?
Like,
okay.
It's a struggle just to stay healthy. And right now, that's my concentration. I just need to be healthy. In general,
healthy overall.
Yeah.
I'm like, you know what? I'm just gonna go like day to day, week to week, because as we were saying, don't make any plans because 2020 taught us. You know what? We're just gonna live. If anything, 2020 taught us to live day to day, and we'll go from there. But man, it's been fun so far. Craziness in 2021. But we'll talk about this week's show. We got UFC coming back, returning strong with a fight night card. Actually going to be premiering on ABC network television. It's a big deal. So we're going to talk about that. We're going to preview that card. We're going to talk about Anthony Pettis and his making moves outside of the UFC. His post-UFC career is kind of taking shape now. We're going to talk about AEW and Impact and a big major reveal that happened last week on Dynamite. We're also going to talk about the possibility of maybe New Japan and AEW working together, because there is a big thing going on there. Albert will kind of talk to us about that. Golden Lovers segment coming up. And then the Royal Rumble card is also starting to take shape, at least the matches other than the Royal Rumble match. Here we'll talk about that as well. So, Albert, let's get started with round number 1 here. UFC on ABC now, Fight Island, Saturday, January 16th. Headline between Max Holloway versus Calvin Qatar. You got Carlos Condit versus Matt Brown. Santiago Ponzinibbio versus Li Jiang. Joaquin Buckley, Mr. Knockout 2020 is back. And I got some other guys on the card as well, too. So it's kind of it's pretty top heavy. But former featherweight champion Max Holloway, who, granted, he lost, coming off 2 losses, but they were title fights. Where's Max Holloway now? He went from being all of a sudden the best of the best to kind of almost being an afterthought now, don't you think? Or is that just me?
I think, honestly, I wouldn't put it that bad, because if you were to get the pulse of the social media response to the last bout he had for the title, a lot of people thought he won.
Yeah.
Including me. I thought he won. So I think he's still there in the brink. Matter of fact, if anything, I think the champion lost some steam after that fight because he didn't want a running back at all. He kind of wanted to do the
next in
John
line,
John Jones. I beat him. Let's go on to the next one. Kind of thing, which is like, no, you got to clearly beat someone to move on in my book. But either way, though, one of the cool things again that came out of 2020 is a lot of these unknown fighters kind of got the push, got the rub, and his opponent's one of them. And this is actually a really good matchup, and it makes perfect sense to me. I'm not even mad at this fight, and I'm actually excited it's free.
Yeah, Calvin Qatar is actually coming off two straight wins,
2 big wins.
Jeremy Stevens, whether you're a fan of him or not, he's a big time dude. You beat him, you get on the radar for sure. So I think it's more pressure on Qatar than it is Max Holloway. I think maybe now that this isn't a title fight, Max Holloway can go back being a little bit looser, just kind of shake off some of that kind of like that lost rust, or kind of shake, and then kind of come back and be like, okay, you know what, I'm ready. And I think we're going to see the old Max Holloway. Older Max Holloway. The guy's still a top fighter. I mean, it's how good he was, how good he is. He loses 2 fights, and we all freak out and say, he's on the way to Jose Aldo. But again, he's going to be a contender for years to come, and I think this is going to be a good way for him to start the year. Albert, the co-main event, you labeled this as a loser leaves town match, right? Which I actually thought Matt Brown was gone, but they brought him back, I guess.
Yeah, dude, Matt, he has not had a very good showings as of late.
Yeah.
You know what's funny? Like, I get that UFC hates to do like gimmick matches, whatever, but whenever I see these fights, I think they just need to lay it out there and like just say straight up, like, just so you guys know, winner stays on, loser you getting cut.
It's funny. It's like the banner thing, right? Like if Carlos Condit versus Matt Brown were to take place under Bellator, wouldn't people be laughing at this match?
Yeah, exactly. And somehow, and then it's
but
the
here,
event here.
Yeah. So
and it should be respected.
Yeah.
Even though Matt Brown got nasty TKO last time.
Yeah.
And then the Carlos Condit, yeah, he's coming off a win, but dude, what was that? 1, 2, 3, 5 losses.
But like, go back. What was his last win?
Against Court McGee, and it was a decision.
But before that
it was Michael Chiesa.
What year?
2018.
So he went almost 2 years without a win, right?
Yeah.
So I mean, natural born killer. He's getting up there in age. More miles, anyways. Do you think maybe he has a title run in him, or is he kind of like, or is he now that Donald Cerrone kind of attraction where I'll fight night, I'll main event a fight night, co-main event a fight night because I'm a former champion. I used to, I fought GSP Diaz. I'm a name recognition. Or do you think he has one more title run left in him?
I like to measure fighters off of DC now.
Yeah.
Where
DC, okay.
Where 40 is the magic number.
Yeah.
And by 40, if you're not on top, then it's not it.
Yeah.
He's 36. I want to say there's one more. Clearly, there. If you're looking age-wise, there's one more run in there. You don't start off with Matt Brown that way. Yeah. I mean, if he struggles with Matt Brown,
then that's a good point. Very good point.
I think he should take that win and right off to the sunset.
Yeah.
But if he just destroys Matt Brown, I can see a title ring. There's one more. There could be one left.
Yeah, I mean the guy at the top, Kamal Usman, is pretty dangerous. But you have guys like Wonder Boy. You got guys like Masvidal. I think those, especially Masvidal, I think that's a winnable fight for Carlos Condit. I think.
I agree with that.
So who knows? I mean, you got that 40 thing. I forgot how old Alistair Overeem is, but I mean,
that guy's just a freak.
Yeah,
I mean, when you eat horse meat, I mean, you just look good.
Yeah, it was a horse meat, right? Yeah. So I think any other fights you want to kind of highlight on this card, or is that pretty kind of top heavy, right? I mean, Joaquin Buckley, Mr. Knockout 2020.
Yeah, I was gonna bring up my boy
that
Buckley,
dude,
but
that bro. I mean, like, you're gonna watch that fight because hopefully he's gonna knock somebody out again.
And I guess we have to mention Santiago just because he's been on a tear. I know that. I mean, I get now. Okay. I want to give him credit, but keep in mind this is the guy that beat Gunnar Nelson.
Yeah.
Which had that controversy in it. So I'm a big Gunnar Nelson fan. So thus I'm a hater.
Just by default.
By default, but I mean he's on a win streak, and yeah, we should make that's a pretty big fight.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna definitely keep an eye out for Joaquin Buckley and see what he does. Hopefully he can kind of carry that momentum and keep raking up those knockouts, man. That guy is a star in the making, if not, he's a star already. So UFC Fight Night on AB, it's kind of different. It's either Fight Island or different. It depends on what avenue of media you go to. UFC on ABC One, I guess, is the official name of it. Saturday, January 16th. I think it starts at around 6 p.m. I think, something like that. So,
but you know what? I think this is kind of a big news, just because I've always, like, growing up, ABC always seemed like the family channel. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And well, it was always owned by Disney. So
yeah, and so for it now having fights on ABC, I think now they're recognizing what I think like Fox always knew was like channel 11 or here, but Fox is their main network and that can get the most eyes, and you got to put in there. I don't know if you know this, but ESPN isn't as easy to watch as it used to be. No. It's not in the basic package anymore. If you have DirecTV, you got to upgrade.
To watch, everywhere. Everywhere you go, you got to upgrade to get ESPN.
Exactly.
Like, it's not even that good anymore to like.
The eyes on the product isn't as big as you think just because it says ESPN on it.
Yeah.
I think that they're finally doing what Fox has been doing, is like, okay, Prime, it's on our Prime channel.
Yeah.
And ABC's the Prime channel.
Yeah. ESPN is pretty much a paywall now, right? You got to pay for anything on there. It's not even that good anymore. Like, if I wanted to see a game, I'll just go get like a VPN. Sorry, or like the highlights.
I subscribe to the League Pass.
Yeah, there you go. Right?
I get people official.
You can cut that middleman out and just go straight to the source. So, yeah, we'll see if it does good ratings. Then network television is the way. It's kind of we're reverting back right to the way it was. It was always network television, then it was cable. Now it's cord cutting. Now the cord cutting has gotten too crazy. Now we're going back to network television. So everything's a cycle. So that's it for round number one. We're gonna come back and talk about Anthony Pettis and his surprising move he's doing in the post UFC world. Don't go anywhere. It's coming up next.
5-round MMA.
Welcome back. Time for round number two. And this is kind of a little bit of old news, but we didn't get to touch on it before we took the winter break here. So I'm going to start the timer. Sorry, Albert. Anthony Pettis, when he decided to leave the UFC, people were like, oh, Bellator for sure. Bellator for sure. He throws a curveball, as only Showtime can do. Showtime kick off the cage and signs with the Professional Fight League to participate in the upcoming 2021 season. Right, they still do that kind of the tournament style, so it's like $1 million if they win. But also, too, what I want to talk about too is he announced that he's going to start his own management company, which I think it's like Showtime Sports Entertainment Group. So he's already kind of thinking post career. He's not even that old, but he's already kind of thinking. He said that I've been kind of semi-managing my brother's career. I've been kind of doing it on my own. So now time to take that next step, especially Milwaukee. So him not going to Bellator, I thought is kind of almost what Scott Coker said. Just because they're ex-UFC guys doesn't mean we're going to sign them, really. And then two, it's a big move for the Professional Fight League, the PFL, because they've been on ESPN for a while now, but this isn't like their first really big major star. Your thoughts on Pettis not going to Bellator and going to the PFL, and then your thoughts on him starting his own management company.
Well, again, I like to always go back to pro wrestling and how it mirrors MMA a lot. There's wrestlers out there that are all in it for the money and not the work.
Yeah.
I'll give you so for example, like Carl Anderson and Luke Gallows.
Yeah.
They're all about the money, right? They didn't care what Impact. Let's keep it 100 is not a competing company, but they were the ones that offered the best thing. And from what I heard, AEW didn't really offer anything, just like Bellator didn't really. So it's all about what someone values you instead of the work. And I think that's where Anthony Pettis is at, where he's like, look, dude, if you're going to pay me the good amount, that's what I'm going with. Like, even though he probably could have got a UFC extension, right? But why would you want to work hard and play? You know, to him, I don't think it matters the brand no more.
At this point, I think he wasn't going to get any.
Yeah, he's not in it for the work.
He was far from a UFC title shot. He on the Wheaties box, bro.
Yeah.
Former champion, forever has that Showtime kick at WEC. Now he's you know what? I'm just going to build off the Showtime name now. I'm going to go to PFL. I probably got to I probably got a decent deal fight wise, but I'm gonna be allowed to probably bring in my fighters, get some cut. All the whole roster of Showtime Entertainment Group, they're all gonna go to PFL probably. I'm gonna get a cut of their contracts. I'm just gonna have my banners everywhere. So it's smart. It's smart for him, man.
And then just like I've always known that Anthony Pettis had like this type of mindset. Because whenever you see these fighters starting off and they get those big pays, you start seeing them flexing a little bit, showing their money, whatever.
Yeah.
I remember one of his early interviews, one of the first things he did was he bought a barbershop. and I remember him saying, well, at some point, it seemed like it was cheaper if I just owned my own barbershop because I got my hair cut all the time. But in reality, I remember DC even saying, like, do I own a couple of barbershops? It's like they have that mentality of, like, they're looking past fighting, which is super smart. And so I always knew he had like that type of mindset of like, business is always going to be business.
Yeah.
And so it doesn't surprise me that he started something like his management company. And like right now you made it make perfect sense why it would work with PFL.
Yeah. Maybe there's always the McGregor sports coming pretty soon, right? You think McGregor's going to kind of follow this suit and, boxing and stuff like that?
There's McGregor boxing and he has his own little thing.
But I think now, like you said, this is a good move for PFL. Puts them on the map again. Also, too, Bellator, man. Like, hey, like I said, just because they're not the ex-UFC guys doesn't mean we're going to sign them up. So I thought for sure he was going to Bellator. I think people in our...
especially since his brother was there.
Yeah, and people, like, he's still, like... And the UFC may not be a title contender, but he can go... He could have fought Pitbull and fought, like...
There was some exciting fights and some heavy... Like, he literally could... made an impact in the top 3,
especially with Bellator being on CBS Sports Network too. You would think they want to have that. Maybe, like you said, maybe the money was just too off. Like, hey, Anthony, this is what we see you at. But Anthony, I see myself as this. Or hey, can I bring in my sports management thing? It's all so much more than just. I think we kind of get caught up on like, well, the best matchups are in Bellator. Is going to go Bellator. Exactly. Not when you have the mindset of Anthony Pettis, where you know what. The matchups really don't matter to me anymore. It's all about the contract, the terms of the deal, and how can I better promote myself after that too as well. Also, too, shout out to my former editor over at fansided.com, fansided Amy Kaplan. She's on. She had a interview with Anthony Pettis. He retweeted on his Twitter account, so go check that out too. That's kind of cool. Fansided MMA. Really great stuff over there. Shout out to her. That's it for round number 2. We're going to switch gears now and talk about professional wrestling. A lot going on in professional wrestling if you haven't kept up with it. Most notably, a reunion of sorts in AEW. Don't go anywhere. We're going to talk about that coming up next.
5-Round MMA.
Welcome back. Time for round number 3. We're switching gears now and talking about the world of professional wrestling. The biggest thing going on now is the AEW versus Impact kind of storyline that's going on. I still think it's funny that it only took less than 2 years for Tony Khan to put himself in a storyline. Granted, he may not say it is, but dude, you're on Impact every week with commercials, and you can tell it's going to lead somewhere. Yeah, because you keep calling out Don Callis and stuff like that. Where it took Vince McMahon about 20 plus years to put himself in a storyline. So again. If I had the old money and my dad gave me his money to give, I would probably enter myself in storylines too. But
I would be. I would have been in the first match.
I'm just saying, like, nobody wants to call it out because Tony Khan's a fan of the marks and he's a mark himself. But bro, you're already inserting yourself in storylines. It's been less than 2 years. Whatever. Impact versus AEW, Hard to Kill. I think it's coming up pretty soon. I think.
Yeah, it's this month.
Yeah, it's going to be. Kenny Omega and the Good Brothers versus Motor City Machine Guns and Rich Swann. But huge curveball or revelation was revealed on this past episode of Dynamite. So I'll start the timer here now. The Good Brothers, Kenny Omega, and the Young Bucks beat up Jon Moxley, and they did the Too Sweet sign. I don't think they can say Bullet Club on AEW television because
I thought that Nick and Matt couldn't do the Too Sweet sign.
Yeah, well, they can't say Bullet Club either, I think, because that's owned by New Japan. Yeah. So, but obviously, I think Doc Gallows put hashtag Bullet Club. What are your thoughts on this, on the Bullet Club, or I they're calling the Elite now or whatever? So it's a Bullet Club reference. We all know what it is.
So I know I don't have to tell them smarks out there, but just for the people that are not, it's very well known in the smart community that Drew Gallows and Anderson Machine Gun were supposed to sign with AEW the first time around their contracts ended in WWE. And in a recent Talking Shop, which is their podcast, they said that they had it written out that they were supposed to debut at AEW and then right off the bat just turn on the Young Bucks and then start a storyline like that. And so I think they referenced that pitch, and I think they set it up at the end to make it seem like they were going to go up against each other, but then they go and form each other, give you that little twist. So what was the question?
Your thoughts and reactions to this Bullet Club information.
Anyways, I'm excited because the only reason I get it, like Bullet Club has been watered down, I guess you can say. I think when
Cody Rhodes,
yeah, I think it's really. I mean, when something's so good like the NWO, you can really just squeeze it all out, and then it's pretty much nothing. So I get it. Bullet Club's been watered down, but with that said, the only thing that excites me is the fact that they're able to do it. Like WWE at its height had AJ Styles, had Drew Gallows, Anderson Machine Gun,
and
Finn Balor, and did nothing. They would just like randomly team up, or randomly they might have like one little thing
here and there, yeah.
But they never did nothing, and that frustrates me because if you have the power, like do it. It's like it's almost as like, again, going to MMA, when you have the Spider Anderson Silva and John Bone Jones, and they both agree to fight each other. How do you not make that fight?
Yeah.
It doesn't matter if it's competitive or not. That's what people want to see.
I know.
You get me? The fans want Bullet Club was white hot. People want to see AJ, Finn Balor. They could have done it, and they own the rights to the dumb little signal or whatever. It's not dumb. It's actually pretty tight. But yeah. Symbol. So, and I mean, they have access to Scott Hall. They have access to Kevin Nash. They have access to Hulk Hogan. Who was in NWO. Yeah. They could have. I mean,
but you also forget they don't own the term Bullet Club. I mean, it belongs to Japan. So,
but I'm just saying they could have done an angle.
What they're doing now. I mean, again,
and so that's the only reason. Back to the only credit I'm giving AEW is that they did it.
They did it. But I mean, they just put them together and like hoping that people who watch it, which if you watch AEW, you're a mark. Basically, you know what it is, so you know that it's the Bullet Club, even though they can't call it the Bullet Club. I know I was hating a little bit, but remember that meme I sent you? It's the Bullet Club, what you order on Wish, and it's a Bullet Club from New Japan with JY, the God, the Girls of Destiny, the Bad Luck Fale, hit Kenta, and then what you order on Wish, and then what arrives on Wish, it's Kenny Omega, the Young Bucks, and the Good Brothers. So when you say it's watered down, maybe in North America, but Japan is still going strong, man.
Oh yeah.
Tama Tonga was like, "Hey man, why you guys backstabbing me or what?" I think he posted a picture of him and the Good Brothers and say, "Hey, betrayal" or something like that. Who knows? I'm sure you guys are all still friends, but like,
I'm pretty sure it's all work.
But you gotta remember where the Bullet Club stands, bro. Yeah, it's like it's all New Japan.
I think he also had a funny tweet where he was like, "If the Tongans aren't involved, it ain't Bullet Club.
It ain't the Bullet Club.
It's
the
crazy.
Gorillas of Destiny."
And I've said it before. I mean, Tama Tonga, that kid. I mean. Woo, there's a few wrestlers I would be legit scared of. He's one of them.
Yeah.
But he's what a cool brother.
Yeah. So I think we're gonna transition now to the next round of what you think may be working together with New Japan to kind of expand. They're working together with everybody else.
Yeah.
New Japan is the last one. They kind of did it before AEW was formed when they did their kind of super independent show.
I think that the brilliance behind this too is there's a lot of wrestlers out there, but they demand a certain amount of money. And Impact and AEW aren't WWE.
Yeah.
And WWE right now has the highest salaries, right? So I think they're trying to figure out a recipe where they're like, look, we can help you guys out. We can help out. And at the same time, we can get that talent that we would either have to pay premium money for. But in reality, we only need to use them for a couple of things.
Yeah.
And once I think New Japan starts seeing that, because I think right now New Japan has their guard up because literally they bring these superstars and then everybody else just poaches them. Mm-hmm. I mean, Shinsuke Nakamura, Finn Balor. Finn Balor was made in New Japan. Kenny Omega, the Young Bucks. I can go on and on who New Japan has
the Good Brothers.
The Good Brothers, all of them. But I think they're trying to sell that. Look, I know we know you guys want Kenny. We know it. Don't act like you don't want Kenny.
Yeah.
But you don't want to pay that Kenny money. But we could give you Kenny for this amount of dates, and we're paying the fee. You guys just throw over some stuff over. So I think that's the selling point they're trying to get at.
That's a good point. So we'll end it here. We'll take a break and we'll come back and enter the championship rounds. We'll talk about that relationship more and what it could lead to possibly in the near future. So don't go anywhere.
5-round MMA.
Welcome back. Time for the fourth round here. So we're kind of continuing a conversation from the last round where timer started here with it seems like it's going to be inevitable with New Japan and AEW working together. They got that Bullet Club tease or the reformation. They can't call it the Bullet Club just yet. You got the guys on social media calling each other out. And then also the big one, the very big one, Ibushi beating Jay White, Wrestle Kingdom, retaining his IWGP Heavyweight Champion, Intercontinental Championship. And you also got, in America, you got Kenny Omega, AEW World Champion, the Golden Lovers.
I've been following, just so
tag
you guys
team
know, I've been following this story for 10 years. This storyline of Kenny Omega and Kota Ibushi. So real quick, before we get back, let me
history lesson here.
Let me give you a little history lesson. So Kenny Omega, it's funny how it's a thing. Like people want to know who you dating, but they want to know about your personal life, especially if you're famous. And Kenny Omega has never once, I guess, said openly that he is straight, but he has also never really said that he's gay. He never said he doesn't like to talk about stuff like that.
Yeah.
Nor does he say what. And so ever since then, there's been he's always had this special relationship with Ibushi, and they always tease the fans maybe even their name's Golden Lovers and maybe in some weird way they are in a relationship.
Yeah.
But the brilliance as Kenny Omega is now it's become some kind of stage play out there of not only, now keep in mind, not only do they have a personal relationship, now they have the same goals, but they're in the way of each other. So it's one of those traditional love stories where
they both want to be champion, but in order for that to happen, they have to fight each other.
Exactly. It's straight out of an anime. And every single time Kenny gives me a little bit of that, I'm savoring. I mean, I can send you some YouTube links if you want to get real deep into this storyline.
So basically, it's you kind of touched on it before, working together, the contracts or what, but where the wrestlers might really be driving this. And that really triggered me something too. I think it was the former Simon Gotch who said about when Finn Balor was being criticized when he entered WWE, why don't you do the demon face paint anymore? Why don't you do this? You're watered down Finn Balor. And I think he said that, well, Finn Balor, we're all artists. They're all visual artists, right? He did all of his major artwork in New Japan. Now he is in WWE, you know what? I'm going to maybe do little things different here, but mostly I'm going to have guaranteed money and not maybe work as hard as I have to and just be Finn Balor. I don't have to do all these crazy artistic things anymore because I got that out of my system already. And he
doesn't have to stand out anymore. Yeah. Get noticed.
And it's just we see these with actors and directors, right? When
Francis Ford Coppola being a big one. I mean, after Godfather, he kept it real low key.
Yeah.
He's like, why do I have to make anything else?
Yeah.
I already made my genius.
Or even Shia LaBeouf.
Yeah.
Did the kids thing. All of a sudden, he get more mature. I'm going to do all this crazy stuff, acting. And then maybe when he gets older, he'll be a little more tamed down, like a little Brad Pitt doing consistent roles. You kind of see this cycle of artists go through. So maybe now with AEW and New Japan, you have these crop of wrestlers who are in that super I want to express myself artistic mode, and maybe that can be working with Kenny Omega Ibushi. Let's do whatever we can to tell this story. With the Bullet Club, let's do whatever we can to tell a story. We'll worry about contracts later on. So that could maybe be the driving force behind Impact, all of them working together as opposed to the promoters kind of bickering over their piece of the pie.
Let me play fantasy booking real quick, and then you answer me, Alex. If New Japan and AEW were lead up to a big event, they're gonna cut the profits 50-50, and you have it literally like Kenny Omega versus Ibushi as the main event. I mean, I'm talking about we're getting the cream. You got the Young Bucks. Will the Smarks buy in?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't they?
I think it's just, again, like our previous round, I think it's just a matter of fact until New Japan realizes really what beneficial we got here.
Yeah.
And I think the biggest one is we're not paying the whole roster. We're not paying for this whole event. We're just bringing in our half. And then guess what? We're going to get our half. And it's a big half to get, especially if you do it right. And WWE, we know, refuses to do business with anybody else. Not only that, they go out of their way to try to bury the business.
Yeah, well, they go out of the way to buy the competition and then just bury it and then put it on the network. Yeah, so even especially if New Japan, we keep talking about year after year how to get a bigger stronghold on the North American market. Yeah, remember when they came to Long Beach? It was like sold out. You couldn't even get tickets. Like sold like in like minutes it sold out. So the hunger is there. But for them to get, they need to be consistently on television here, because again, the Smarks will only take you so far when you need that kind of broader audience. And like, I really do think that style of wrestling would really translate well to the casual fan here, because it looks like, you know, mixed martial arts or something like that. So it looks different. So who knows? Hopefully, I think 2021 is gonna be really, really exciting for professional wrestling. Other than WWE, which we'll talk about next.
Man, you know what I just thought about as you were talking? Imagine the God versus the Good Brothers. Man, right there. I mean, I'll pay just for that match.
Yeah, so I think they broke the record now.
Especially if they work it real good. Like I mean, if Tama Tonga really lays on them, like oh, dude.
I think they just broke the record now. They have the most title runs of any tag team championship in New Japan history. So. The Gorillas of Destiny, man. They're the top guys for sure. All right, that's it for round number 4. We're going to switch gears. Still talk about professional wrestling, but take a look at what the 2021 Royal Rumble match is looking like here. We're getting progressions on the storyline as it's going to happen at the end of the month here, so don't go away. Got one more round next.
5-round MMA.
Welcome back. Time for the 5th and final round. Timer is started now. WWE Royal Rumble, the biggest event, my favorite event of the year. Some people WrestleMania, but Royal Rumble's always been my favorite event. Other than the Royal Rumble match, the matches that happen outside of it are always very important. Now it's starting to take place. We saw a couple weeks ago, Goldberg is going to challenge Drew McIntyre for the WWE title, and then we learned this past Friday on SmackDown that the best in the business, Roman Reigns, is going to take on Adam Pearce. For those of you who might not know, Adam Pearce made his name as the NWA champion. I think he fought in Ring of Honor a couple times, but he was mostly the NWA champion when the NWA wasn't really anything. Yeah. No offense to him, but that's what it is. I guess now he's been a backstage producer for the W for a while now. It's just a progression of the Kevin Owens and Roman Reigns kind of storyline here. I'm pretty sure it's going to be something that's going to happen where
there's a twist.
Yeah, because Adam Pearce hasn't been an active wrestler for a long time now. Roman Reigns, top dog, top heel. But granted, the Royal Rumble, the main focus is the Royal Rumble match itself. But what are your thoughts on these 2 heavyweight championship bouts that they're adding?
I think it's complete trash. Complete trash. And I'm a shoot real quick, right? I know for a fact that if Adam Pearce were to meet me in the streets, he'll probably beat the shit out of me. I know that for a fact. But with that said, Adam Pearce is complete trash. I didn't like his work in NWA. I didn't like the way he was booked in Ring of Honor. I have never, ever been an Adam Pearce fan or Kevin Steen. Never been a fan. Never been a fan. So and I don't even watch SmackDown anymore. I don't even watch it. But Alex sends me that picture of Adam Pearce now being in the main event of Royal Rumble. I am so, if I was not interested with Goldberg coming out and challenging Drew McIntyre, I'm even less interested in Royal Rumble now that Adam Pearce is the main event.
Well, it's the big dog show.
Come on, man. I think it's complete trash. I think they're trashing their own product. I am not excited. I don't care. You could debate. I feel like putting up that meme of that guy sitting on the table and saying like Adam Pearce is trash.
Change my mind.
Because that's ridiculous.
Yeah, I don't know, like maybe because he's still like relatively like young. I mean, he's like, if it was like maybe like back in the like Pat Patterson versus, you know, the equivalent of Roman Reigns back in the day. Okay, it's kind of interesting what's gonna happen here, but
even then, I feel like when they had the whole stooge angle with Pat Patterson and
Gerald Briscoe,
it made more sense because they were kind of that story just had more depth to it.
Yeah,
I think this is like he's associated with the back. He's associated with Kevin Owens. Now he's
yeah.
It's
funny. Like other than this, Adam Pearce's most notable moment in WWE was when he called Drew McIntyre Drew McInfart. On live, do you remember that? Drew McInfart is gonna come out and do something. Drew McIntyre. So that's where we're at. I still think I'm gonna watch it just because see what they do with Roman Reigns and the Kevin Owens story.
And then typical WWE, it gets out that supposedly Daniel Bryan might win.
Yeah.
How many Royal Rumbles have we been waiting for that Daniel Bryan win?
I know, right?
How many?
Just let it happen, all right.
And then you're gonna put that carry in front of me after you give me these trash ass main events. Somehow I'm supposed to pay for Goldberg's. First of all, I wouldn't pay for Goldberg on his prime. Look, I respect Chris Jericho and all the greats and whatever, and Stone Cold Steve. I respect them but the fact that they keep putting over Goldberg, that Goldberg's money, that Goldberg can do whatever he wants because he's a legend. Even Finn Balor, who even gave a good no. I didn't like Goldberg when in his prime. I don't like old Goldberg right now. Goldberg can't wrestle. I don't like Goldberg.
You don't like Graybeard?
I don't know how I can tell WWE. Stop, please.
Yeah, when he came out,
I want to see wrestling.
It was at Legends Night, and he said he came out post when McIntyre defeated Keith Lee, and he said, "Oh, I don't like how you're talking to these legends." And I was like, "It's completely irrelevant to like."
And and Drew McIntyre started off the show with Hulk Hogan and putting Hulk Hogan over.
Yeah,
right?
it's like I don't know what you're talking about, but I misunderstood me, and then they shoved him. That's it. If you're gonna do that, you know what? Just let Goldberg be the heel. Come in, spear McIntyre, and then leave. Don't have him cut a promo. One, his promos have always been horrible. Spear, leave, match set. Instead of having this awkward exchange with both of them, McIntyre looked like what?
First of all, Goldberg was never known for the mic. Yeah. He was known for a spear and a jackhammer.
That's it. So I don't
unless he can't jackhammer Drew McIntyre
sucks
no more.
Because now I think they have two very good champions. Roman Reigns is a very good champion. McIntyre's a very good champion. But they're not putting them in those storylines.
Heel Roman is good.
Yeah.
Face Drew is good.
Yeah.
Everything else sucks.
They almost need to be fighting each other.
Yeah.
It's just
honestly, the plan, especially with the way things are now, maybe the split brand is not working anymore, and you just got to blend it.
And in all honesty, this is no offense to a lot of people on the roster. It's going to take it this way, but the WWE right now is bottom heavy.
Oh yeah,
they have just bought maybe 2-3 top guys, the most, who are believable top guys.
If you can even say that, just to show you, Daniel Bryan, even though he's a name, he's not a top guy right now.
Yeah,
he's not. He's not put in that position. I mean, he has the name recognition, but it's literally all I hear is Randy Orton, Roman Reigns, and Drew McIntyre.
Yeah, even Bray Wyatt. I mean, I don't know what's going on with him either. But WWE's you ever get a steak and there's just a bunch of fat you gotta trim, and after you're done trimming the fat, you have no meat on the steak. That's what WWE's right now. They have a bunch of fat. No offense to everybody else, but
no offense to Kevin Owens.
But then we're
I meant that literally,
exactly.
Literally, not metaphorically.
I think you gotta trim all these fat. Say, okay, who's the top guy? Who's the top guy? And then okay, this is all we got. So I don't know. I mean, we're still gonna watch the Royal Rumble because it's the Royal Rumble match itself. But I mean, I always run this time of year. I go back and watch the old ones on the network.
Oh
man,
so good.
I mean, it was cool when the title match was good. I think it was a '93 Royal Rumble. It was Bret Hart versus Razor Ramon. It's amazing match. But then also, they also had the Rumble match itself. So it's yeah, but
it's just crazy that literally I just want to see the Rumble. That's it.
And then the year after that, you had the casket match between Yoko and Undertaker, and then the Royal. Man, it's just I don't know. Whatever. We'll see how it goes. I'm still kind of curious to see how they do the Adam Pearce one, but the Goldberg versus McIntyre, I have no. That's going to be horrible, and hopefully they do something to change or do something where it's a regular wrestling match. But I don't know. That's it for this week's show. Thank you all for tuning in for 2021. Hopefully things get a little bit better as we finish the month of January and look into February already. I'm already done with January. Make sure to keep update with us on social media, mostly Twitter and Instagram. Our Instagram is not, our Twitter's not suspended, so thank you very much. We haven't got that level yet. We both can be found on both those platforms at FiveRoundMMA. It's FIVE-RoundMMA. Make sure to visit FiveRoundMMA.com. We're also on YouTube. Like, subscribe. putting notifications. Please comment. We want to engage in conversations with you guys here. That's the best way to keep up to date. What else we got? Am I missing something? No,
but the best, honestly, I mean this in all honesty, the best way to listen to this podcast is through YouTube.
Yeah.
You just can't get the visuals in iTunes.
Yeah.
I highly recommend YouTube. And real quick, just so people don't think that we're not trying to put people over, but we mentioned Hard to Kill. It's January 16th.
Hard to Kill, Morty City Machine Guns, your favorite tag team's favorite tag team. They're just legends, bro. They're so good. We saw them so many times in the indie scene.
Blew my mind every single time.
Alex Shelley, Chris Sabin, living legends. Morty City Machine Guns, Hard to Kill. All right, that's it for this week's show. Thank everybody for tuning in. We'll see you next week.
Thanks for tuning in.